you guys have been asking, how do I reach diamond? How do I reach ruby? And then there's also been some people saying, oh, can you show some high level gameplay and then kind of coach that or even just review it? So I'm looking at a player who is currently in diamond in the video, but has actually reached ruby since then. They do a mix of solo queuing and 3-stacking. In this video, they are in a 3-stack, and this is diamond footage. Now, even if you are in ruby, there's still going to be mistakes that you might make. And even if I look back at my own gameplay, I'm sure I'm going to be able to find tons of mistakes that I've made myself. So today we're going to be looking at a light main who is a top 500 player, and we're going to be looking at some of the mistakes that they've made, analyzing some of the good things that they did, and overall, we're going to be looking a lot at positioning and specifically how you position as a light, because I do find that it is a very, very difficult thing to kind of grasp, especially if you are a newer player. And even in really, really high elo, I find like if I haven't been playing light very, very frequently, then there's a lot of times where I'll pick up light again and I'm like, oh crap, like I'm positioning like a heavy or I'm positioning like a medium. Light is a very specific play style, and learning how to play it at a high level is no easy feat. So let's get into MCO ZZ's VOD review and see what mistakes even happen in high elo. All right, so let's get into this VOD review here. So let me read the comments from MCO CZ. They are in chat right now. Hello, you can say hi. Might put this in a video, might not, we'll see. So comment says, we were in a Discord call, so there was communication. I was recording using the Steam record, so that's why there is not comms in the video. Mostly solo queue, so I hope you are hearing the comms. You not hearing the comms doesn't ruin the video. Why the lower resolution? Since season 4 performance got way worse, so I had to change for lower res. Okay, so do you mind letting me know what you think went wrong with this game, or like, is it your fault? Do you think it was somebody else's fault? Or, let me know what you kind of, what your thoughts are on the game before we get into it, or anything that you think you're having issues with, or things that you think you're doing well, so that we can kind of have a little prediction before him. Now, the loadout here, we got glitch, thermal, gateway, LH1 cloak. Fantastic loadout. I think this is great, especially if you are facing other lights. You're in round 2, so maybe have that that knowledge now. In the reserves, we have the XP, 93R, frag, and stun. Pretty solid options to bring into the game here, so I'm pretty happy with the loadout so far. Alright, and you got a teammate with heal beam model and another light. They're bringing LH1 with dash. Okay, difficult composition to play with. Not having a heavy on your team is just really, really difficult, as you have no damage with heavy as your challenge. But yeah, honestly, like, having a heavy is really, really big. Okay, I see Raimkey here, Vladimir, Ara. These are very good players. So this is probably your biggest threat. These are some, like, really top players. And I know that this is EU just based on these players here, so. Like, surviving is a big trouble for me. I rush into fights. Strategy is bad. That's where I lack. Aim is okay time to time. Okay. Aim is usually never really a big concern. There's going to be times where it's like, oh shit, maybe you should hit it, aim labs. But for the most part, aim isn't really going to be a determining factor for a lot of people. Yeah, so if you're having issues with surviving, then I gotta assume that there's probably something wrong with your positioning. Oh, great start. That is unfortunate. Shit like that happens. Getting double naded right as you swing. I mean, we can't always predict that. Shit like that's just gonna happen. I wouldn't stress it too much. I'd bring your body to a safer spot. I also wouldn't invis straight on the body. Alright. Got the cleanup good. Nothing really too noteworthy other than what I've said so far. Don't worry about... If you want to submit another one, you totally can. I'm kind of just going through them in order at the moment. None of my YouTube members have submitted any, so none of them have been pushed ahead, so everybody's just kind of in line. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this spot. This is the spot that you would hold if you're heavy or medium. You need to be scouting for your team right now. Your other light is actually in a better position because they're playing off-site. They're getting intel. They're gathering, they're gaining control, basically. Like, you guys have more control the more you spread out because now you can watch spawns and you have more of this zone. So let me kind of break this down. Like, when you're standing here, if you're all clumped up on A, you have an extremely small zone of control. If you expand out, you have your light over here, you have your medium over here. They're in great spots. You're in a horrible spot because you're doing nothing for your team. If you push into maybe even the other building, push up to the window that would be like behind here, then you have more control. Like, you're viewing more of the map. Both, like, all of you guys can kind of gather intel together and sort of feed that back to each other. Obviously, if you're not in comms, it's difficult, but you can still like spam ping. There's no excuse not to ping, or even just use your mic if you have one and feed that information back. But you're gaining no information here. Like, this is a horrible spot, especially as a light player. This is like, if you have a medium and a heavy together and they're posted up here and then you're the one pushed off-site scouting, that's completely normal. But in a composition like this with no heavy and you have like a heal beam medium, like the heal beam, they shouldn't be on heal beam. They should be on even, like, honestly, I'd rather them be on turret because the heal beam's going to do nothing with 2 lights. Like, they should 100% be on DMAT. But, you know, they're on heal beam. You can't really control what they're doing. But, like, you guys are not a composition that should be bunkering together. You guys need to, like, kind of split up, get information, and start getting early damage. Or else you're going to lose fights. Looking at the scoreboard is good. It'd be nice if you were looking at the scoreboard a little bit more. We can see that orange is dead. We have a team that just spawned here. So something to note here, we have 10 seconds on the orange respawn. They died fighting purple. Now we have pink on us right now. There's actually a pretty good chance that orange is going to spawn here because they already died across the map. So during this fight, there needs to be that consideration that there's going to be another team that's going to be third partying. And we need to kind of position in a way that we, like, control a lot. Like, we would have had the information of these guys approaching a lot earlier if we were spread out and getting that information. And now we have one person dead. It's 2 lights. We at least have Defender Coin, which is probably the best bet, just to let this medium use Defender Coin and back off, because we don't know where orange is right now, and there's a good chance that they might third party. If they get a spawn over here, of course, but we'll have to see. Okay, I swear, shooting through DMAT holes is so difficult sometimes. Okay, if orange isn't here by now, then they're probably not coming. So then this means that you should have the go-ahead to just kind of get aggressive here. And you still have your gateway, which is a good spot to place your gateway. Nice, and we can tell now by looking at the scoreboard that orange is fighting it, and they died to purple again. Okay, cool. Your other light has so far better positioning than you as a light. They're constantly pushing, like, ahead of the team and getting information. Like, think of yourself as the scout, and you do that a lot better with cloak because you aren't going to be the one to get first spotted if you're using cloak effectively and positioning effectively. But you need to be in there first and get information for your team. You're always at the back. Like, you're basically positioning as if you're like the heal beam on your team. And then shit like this is going to happen because you're not going in there, you're not gaining intel, and then you're not positioning effectively. You're in the back with no information, and all that means is that you're just going to continuously get picked off. And, like, that would be a position that, like, the medium with heal beam would take because they're trying to be safe, but they're usually playing with their heavy. You're basically playing back and alone, which does nothing for your team and does nothing for you. Like, be the first one in, like, guide your team. That's exactly what your other light is doing, and they're doing it correctly. Like, you should be up there with your team. The coin was good here, making sure that you save your first place. I'm not sure why your light isn't coining. Like, your light 100% should be coining. I would even be telling them to coin. Like, having the time to actually put in to winning a fight is so important. Saving those 2 coins is going to do nothing for you. You guys are so close to just securing a win right now. All that you need to do is just get 1 more of these and you're good. So you should have told your light to just coin. Because if he's in the fight with you guys, you can approach this so much better. You're going to have so much more time. You saw him to the top there. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. I like the quick and disengage after shooting. You like that? Okay, that's unfortunate. This is why we need nade indicators, but it is unfortunate. If that's not your team's gateway, you should be glitching it. Although I really don't know whose it is because this quality is really hard. I can't see if there's any orange or blue specks in it. I want to say that was the enemies. They just didn't pop it for some reason. Decent assumption. Decent assumption. All right, so we still have orange up. Pink has 5 seconds on the respawn timer. Also, this is what I want to tell a lot of people. It's really hard to know what's going through your mind here. But when you're traversing from point to point, there's sort of this dead time that I think a lot of people start to zone out and they don't really think anymore. This is a perfect time to start assessing what's happening in the game. So checking at the score, you can see that pink is fully dead. They're about to respawn. We already know that you were just fighting orange and they're going to be trailing you once they reset. You guys tapping this, you got to understand that you're more than likely going to have to fight orange. If not them, we don't know where purple is. And we still have pink on the map. Unless purple has tapped. No. So 5 has not been tapped yet, so we don't have any information yet. But we do know that one team is approaching here. And that looks like purple. It is. Okay. So this means we need to back out right now. Like, actually, you guys got 2 kills pretty early on, which is good. But, like, this fight is going to be a third-party situation. Even if you win this, there's a good chance you lose straight after to the third party. Which is why I would highly recommend in situations like this, like, when you push to a point, you need to start scouting, gathering intel. Like, if we know that orange more than likely is going to be coming for us, then we need to make sure that we are aware of the third-party situation and don't put ourselves in a forced fight. We're not here to just purely take the fight. We need to make sure that we are safe from everything. So we can back out of the fight, and then they're going to be the ones in the center of a third-party situation. But we'll see what happens. So one of your teammates goes down. This is actually really bad, just having, like, 1 death. Pink just tapped 5, so we know that pink is on the other side of the map. This would be a good time, honestly, just to quickly press tab and see if you see any combat score or if anybody on pink or orange are dead. If either team has 1 dead member, then we know that they're fighting and that we can take this fight as a proper 3v3. But we still don't have any of this information. Because these are all, like, hypotheticals of what could happen based on, like, respawn timers, based on what information we already have. Like, we know where orange was and shit like that. So it's just, like, we need to kind of consider all situations until we have all the information. So holding tab would have been really, really good during this fight just to check where pink and orange are. Like, we don't know where orange is right now, and we really need to know where orange is. Oh, there. That's actually one thing we just saw. Orange just gained 500. So now we know that the other 2 teams are fighting. That was, like, the first bit of information that I was able to see. Sorry, a lot of times that I'm like pausing, you can see how like pixelated this video is. So it's really hard for me to like gather all this information, and I'm trying to process it, but sometimes it's just really hard to see with the pixelation. So I might have missed another kill, but forgive me. All right, pink is wiped. Your teammate is fighting purple alone. You should really be helping him as like the light. This plug is like super big. Super big for you guys. And he's going for the double. Low key smart. Low key, very smart. I would suggest timing your glitches on respawns like that, or like moving. Don't just stand still, even if you're cloak, because they're watching you and spectate. Like their camera's locked onto you. So I would keep moving because they're going to get that perfect shot anyways. I would have went behind the cover and then peeked out right after the respawn. That probably would have been a better option. Okay, I like this. This is good positioning. Yeah, getting ready for purple. I saw exactly what you're doing here. We're just waiting for purple because you want to grief them out. We know that they're the best team. So I like this. You need to do more, though. You guys can fully wipe here and still be first place. You need to not be so afraid. Get in there and shoot at purple. Nah. You guys are like giving this to purple. Does purple get this and you guys lose next game or something? This game was all about griefing, and like for ranked, it is 100% about griefing. Like you always need to just grief out the teams that are the biggest threat. Like we were focusing way too much on pink and shit. I understand you can't control your teammates, but you can control yourself. No, they're gonna barricade APS it. Oh, are they gonna do this? Yeah. They barricaded it. What did I say? And then you guys lose to a team. You had a perfect opportunity to grief them out, and you guys squandered it. Like this game, honestly, a huge part of the meta is just all about griefing other teams out. Like trying to ruin somebody else's game and like basically like make sure that you are eliminating any threat. So removing all of the threats that could potentially get you down, like this team, the MMH team here. Full like top players in EU. I know a lot of them. I played with a lot of them in pugs and stuff. So like that's clearly like the threat. And this game purely relies on like griefing in ranked to climb. Like you always need to grief out the teams that are like the biggest threats. That's just like the nature of the game. The culture around that is like a lot bigger in NA. Like NA is fully grief. Like griefing is almost like the #1 priority. I think EU tends to be a little bit more respectful. But like in that situation, if you're going to final round, you could have brought through a worse team, not a full 3-stack of top players. But maybe you want the competition. I don't really know. But like it seemed like the approach there was to grief them out. You waited for purple. It seemed like you were trying to focus down purple, but you just weren't doing a good job at it. Like even at the end, you ran in to try and stop the steal. Obviously, you shot them instead of like stunning them, which probably would have been a smarter idea. But regardless. Oh, No, don't peek, don't peek. Nice, there we go. Peek with your team is a lot smarter than peeking alone. That first peek scared me, but that second one was a lot better. Like you dipped and then peeked with your teammate. That was good. Now, is this a solo queue or are you guys in a 3-stack? Like, are you guys using communication at all on like Discord? Um, 3-stack on Discord? Okay. And you said you usually solo queue? Okay. I like this. I like this. Okay. I'm going to say this now. This is a sign of somebody who's actually played the game for quite some time. Knowing when to reset. This is really good. So many people panic the moment that someone starts stealing their cash out. They instantly go into like this, like, I don't know. They go into this like frenzy where they're like, oh shit, I have to stop him. I have to stop. I have to go, and like they stop all things they're doing purely just to stop. You've noticed like we have plenty of time. There's more than a minute and a half left on this cash out. I can just go ahead and pick up my teammate, get them back in the fight. Your other teammate could coin, or you can grab them depending on the situation. But dropping down to grab them is like, that is exactly what you're supposed to do. So I'm really glad to see that. But just for a lot of the newer players, like resetting when you have this much time, it makes way more sense than trying to solo it. You're not going to 1v3. You're not him. I'm saying that to all the bad players right now. You are not him, bro. You're stronger in numbers. Solo queue, I don't solo queue anymore. I want to stay in Ruby, and solo queue experience is too dangerous, I feel. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so we got our whole team back up, and now we're scouting, looking for them. That's good. Your teammates found them and then dipped. This is really good. This would be a really good time to have a DMAT so that you can like sort of hunt them out. Instead, we're kind of approaching this way, which isn't bad. You have your light go in. Oh, this not good. Not good. Nice, nice. I like that. You can flank. You can flank to the right. You can flank to the right. There's like a hole there. Okay, that works. Your one teammate's just kind of carrying your ass. Not him. Timothy. Oh, sorry. Yeah, your other light just kind of popped off there. But let me break down this fight a little bit, because I think that there are some things here that I wanted to kind of like go over. Okay, we've gathered the intel that they're there. Your teammate has successfully scouted and found them. We know that they have no lights, so they don't have a gateway. They're all posted up in here. We have a bunch of utility here. The smartest thing here would be like, your teammate is peeking. Throw both of your glitches. Just bank it off this wall and land it in there. Like, that would have been smart. Especially here, we start hearing shots. Back up, throw glitches in there. If you can just get some glitches in here, that would be like so big for your team. And sure, that's some good damage, and then you instantly try to go in, but it's like you always have to assume that this bubble is coming in. If you would have thrown both of your glitches here, there'd be no bubble here. And luckily it gets taken out quickly, I think by your teammate's nade. But yeah, you get winched and killed, which is super unfortunate. Now this part is actually pretty decent for your team. Throwing the nades here on the revive. You have the one in the corner, one person healing here. They're not in a good situation. If they had DMAT and this person was using DMAT and they just DMAT through here and start blasting you guys, like, they win that fight. But they're running heal beam, which I don't think is super optimal unless this guy's on DMAT, but I have not seen too many like DMAT plays from him. Yeah, right here, this hole here, like, there's a hole right behind you here. Let me make sure that we're all seeing it. Like, right here is the hole. Right here to my left is the hole. When you're on this side of the wall, if you peek through here, this is free, dude. Actually, so free. And you had a perfect opportunity. Like, my brain instantly went there, and I'm surprised yours didn't either. Or yours didn't. But it doesn't matter because your teammate just came and cleaned up the entire fight. So very good on him. Very good on him. Yeah, they're getting picked off. Yeah, they're scrambling right now. I think they're panicking. Yeah. That is not a good play by them. Like they are panicked right now. They're like stressed that they're gonna lose. They're probably bitching at each other in comms. Like they need to coordinate, play together. But they're all just split up, fighting one by one. That last grouped up fight, they did not play it well. Their APS wasn't in a good spot. And if they have DMAT, they're not playing it well. I actually cannot tell if they have DMAT or not. Ooh. Unfortunate. Honestly, just unfortunate. That shit happened earlier where you got like double naded. Basically, the same thing happened. Shit like that just happens sometimes. You just peek and then it's instantly just dead. So I don't know what the comms were from your team if they were even that close. Realistically, you could have just went for the plug and just chilled up here and waited for them to push, or you can wrap around to the right and get a different angle on them. But I don't know what the comms were. If they had said like, oh, they're on the jump pad, like if you had information of where they were, then maybe you wouldn't have peeked that window. But again, that's why intel gathering is extremely important. So I want to assume that there just wasn't a comm so that you didn't think it was that urgent of a threat to like actually push up to that window where you got RPG naded. Hmm. Nah, you guys lost this fight. You just leave and like force him to coin. Get the, oh man, what are we doing? Get the coin off, bro. What are we doing? Let your team coin. There is no chance to get that if you guys die. There's literally zero chance to get this if you die there. There's at least a chance if you like let your teammates coin. They're coming from the pad, so I wanted to beam from them from far. Yeah, okay. So you just didn't have like the proper information, because like I'm assuming you wouldn't have peeked that window like that if you knew that they were like clearly on the jump pad. It wasn't really like a beam situation there. It is what it is. Sometimes shit like that happens, where you just don't really have like the proper information, or the comms that you got you might have just like misunderstood, or they, you know, said something that could have been interpreted different ways. It happens all the time. Got him. Dude, your other light here is just cleaning house, bro. He's 12 kills. Dude is popping off. Honestly, I feel like you should just pick up heavy. If this is like your 3 stack, you should just pick up heavy and just let your light just shine. And then you got your medium on heal. If he stays on heal and then you're on heavy, like you guys could pop off even harder. Just grab a winch, pull it in the open, make it easy for your light. Okay, good. was gonna say, you're gonna lose that fight. I hope you retreat, which you did. Oh. Ooh, the panic aim at the end. This is a time to use your... No, 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 you already used your gateway. I was literally just about to say, this is the time to place your gateway and get out. You did not realize you've already placed the first end of the gateway. You're out of... oh, man. Oh, this is like... Okay, you guys are like... You guys are funneling. This is really, really bad. So, like... You guys are dying one by one. You're not fighting together here. This has been, like... Such a, like, panic fight the entire time. Like, I don't know what is, like... Going through everybody's head here, but, like... This is brutal. Like, okay. We have decent positioning here. Like, my instant thought would have been, like, to peek over to the left here and watch over your teammates that are in a fight right now. Instead, you, like, wrap all the way around to then fight nothing. Like, this is where your teammates are retreating to. If you would have posted up right next to D, which is what I initially thought, but I was like, let me just watch and see what he's doing. You would have been at a spot to shoot behind them as they pushed your team here. Or when this guy drops down here, you could have turned around and just started shooting him. But instead, you get to a bad position. You jump off, which I assume maybe was a mistake. But we end up fighting from behind so often here because, again, we're in a bad positioning. We're in bad positioning, which means that, like, if a fight goes wrong, you have to, like, leave. In most situations, that's always something we have to think of. Is like, if we lose this fight, or if I start losing, start missing my shots, if things go wrong, I have to retreat. Where is my retreat? Where's my safe spot? Your safe spot here is on the ground. You now are giving him high ground because you have to take low ground. Your initial positioning was really bad. And now your teammate's down here. Your entire team is down here. They have full control above you guys. Right? We got this kill. This would have been like an instant reset. Everybody reset on me. Everybody reset on this body here. Instead, this guy, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's fighting on his own. Your teammate gets picked off by the heavy because, again, you guys are kind of like isolated. And now both your teammates are dying. It's like... It's difficult because you don't always... you can't always predict that, but like you guys all put yourself in horrible positions. Like every position was just like, I have no cover, I have no escape, I'm fully committed to this. And not only am I fully committed to this fight, but I'm fully committed to a fight where I have a disadvantage and no out. That was like all of your guys' positioning. It was really, really bad. Like, you guys are not kiting correctly. And then here, I even said it, like, this is where we need to place our gateway, because we can escape to a gateway that has high ground. You placed it above the Cashout, we can take high ground now. And we can let our teammates coin if we want, because there's a full minute left. They'll be able to coin with about 40 seconds, 30 seconds, I guess, by the time that they actually get there. And we could just sit and watch over the Cashout from a new spot. We can go to some other high ground, maybe the platforms, and just watch over it. We can even grab our teammate body who fell, place the gateway on his body, grab his body, go through, and let our other teammate reset. Like, we're not going to be able to coin, or we're not going to be able to revive him, but we could revive him. He's savable. Instead, we throw this up in the air, and you always need to keep track of your gateways. But if we had reset and went all the way over there while this guy's above us here, and we went all the way to the other side of the building where like the offices are, and there's like the little jump platforms, somewhere around there would have been a better positioning while we wait for our other teammate to revive. But we need high ground. Like, take the zip, get high ground. Stop playing from below. This is like stressing me out. You're just like purposely taking like such a bad fight here. Again, just bad positioning. We have like no angles. We got no clear sight. He just jumped down. This would be a time to go up. Yeah. Thank you. Oh. Dude, even Purple's playing this horribly. Yeah. Of course. Ugh. If we have DMAT, we can drop that down. Like, ugh. It sucks watching this, knowing exactly how it's going to turn out before I've even watched it. Oh, that last fight was just a mess, bro. A huge mess. Ugh.